Am I allowed to ask a police officer for proof if they pull me over for speeding? My brother did once. Got pulled over and was told how fast he was going. My brother was legitimately surprised to hear the speed the officer gave him and asked to see the reading on the scanner. Officer took offense and insinuated that my brother thought he was incompetent, a liar. Brother replied something to the likeness of, "When I go to the bank and make a withdrawal, I always count the amount they hand me. Not because I think they accidentally or deliberately gave me the wrong amount, but because there's a chance it could be wrong and like to verify it with my own eyes." The officer considered this and surprisingly agreed and showed him the scanner. Obviously it depends on the person you're asking, but you absolutely can ask. Best bet would to speak respectfully and reasonably though. I was once going cruise control 70 on a 75 and got pulled over by a cop who said I was speeding in. He was just going to give me a warning citation. I still was annoyed that he was wasting my time. I asked how fast I was going, because I knew it was BS since I was on cruise control 5 below. And he just says, "I could tell you that, but then I'd have to give you something else," meaning give me an actual ticket. I shut up and took it, but it pissed me off at the time. Clearly was using me as the example to other drivers on the road. You don't contest it with the cop. You contest it by showing up in court instead of just paying it. The best thing you can do is get a dashcam and start using it. Get one that will display the coordinates and speed, as well as date and time. That way if you do get a speeding ticket you can review the video that you saved, and if you were not speeding you have actual proof you weren't that you can show the judge in court. Not only is a dashcam good for proving you weren't speeding, they are good for proving that you didn't run a stop light or stop sign. If you were to get in an accident, the video can be shown whose fault the accident is, and especially useful for an accident that occurred at an intersection. One more thing you can do with it is record the cop when you are pulled over. Having one may also get you a discount on your auto insurance. I remember riding with my brother and his friend through West Virginia when we got pulled. As we were pulling over, my brother swore up and down he wasn't speeding, so his buddy says, "Ask to see the radar. They have to show proof." Cop says, "I pulled you for doing 78 in a 65 inches. My brother asks, "May I see some proof that I was speeding?" Quote, "Cop doesn't even blink and just says, 'Nope,' and walked away and wrote him the ticket. I laughed my ass off." PLZ, don't get cocky with a cop even if you are innocent. Speak in calm manner, and if it's ignored, talk to the judge. I'm a former deputy sheriff, and we used to be assigned to work radar, litter in areas where we've been having high-speed traffic collisions on these stretches of road. Now litter shoots a specific laser beam at a specific car. We previously had to train estimating vehicle speeds as they approached you. Our policy was when you visually estimated the potential speeder, let's say I guessed 85 miles per hour. Then you point the litter gun at the vehicle. I had to be within 5 miles per hour of my estimate. So if he was going 79 miles per hour, I let him go. If he was doing 81 miles per hour, he was getting stopped. Now I would lock someone in doing 105 miles per hour in a 60 miles per hour zone, and I would hold that 105 so it would flash on my litter. Sometimes I would have my camera going also as evidence. So I would stop the car, introduce myself, explain why we were working traffic enforcement. I would ask for their license, reg, insurance, then tell them the reason why I stopped them. Usually they were shocked when I told them how fast they were going. So after making sure they weren't wanted, I would bring them back to my car and show the readout of their speed that was flashing on my litter. I would show them how it worked and would even let them try it on a couple of vehicles. Once they saw how it worked and I took the extra time to show them. When I gave them a ticket, I actually got a thank you, and sometimes I even received letters of commendation from these motorists for being treated so kindly. I figured I was just doing my job. I went to court to do when was the speed gun calibrated, and I never had to because the cop didn't show up, and the ticket was dismissed. I think it's because I requested a new court date and time close to 5 p.m. My dad is a cop and told me they are required to give you a number. He also told me if you ever get pulled over, keep your hands on the steering wheel and in sight at all times. I once had a cop pull me over. He said it was because I was in the fast lane and for that reason I must have been speeding. Can't make this crap up. I asked how fast I was going and he couldn't give me an actual number. And so I didn't get a ticket. I still remained calm and polite despite the fact that I think he was just a jerk on a power trip. Never fight it at the stop. Fight it in court. Even if they hit you. Even if they don't get punished. You still stay out of prison. Save it for court. If you want to guarantee you're getting a ticket, instead of a warning, then yes, do that. Don't argue with cops. You'll lose 100% of the time. Best thing to do is just comply. Then show up in court. That's where the real battle is. You're allowed to ask to see the radar gun to see what speed they clocked you at. Caveat: they aren't legally required to show you. It's my understanding they typically will verbally tell you what speed they clocked you going. Source: my husband has a lead foot. I was informed of this after receiving a BS speeding ticket when I was 16. I was young and a relatively new driver and didn't know beforehand. Other than that, refrain from arguing with the cop on the side of the road and instead contest the ticket in court. Hate that so many comments are right. Show up to court and pay it. I showed up after a false ticket accusation. I was going 64 on a 60 and he said I was going 75. Would have been 2 points. Ticket was like $140. I get up to the stand at court. The judge immediately says, the state of is willing to offer a deal. That the ticket say you were going 64. So you won't get points on your license. I was like, great. Okay. Then the judge says, you can stop and pay the court fees on your way out. $140 still gone. Fucking hate when government screws with the little guy. I was literally fresh moved into that town and county and was barely able to pay my first month's rent due to complications with starting my job. Fuck that cop. I don't care what the quota or anything like that is. You can ask for proof when you challenge the ticket in court. Roadside is not the place to argue. Accept the ticket and show up in court. When I was much younger, I got quite the number of tickets. One such case I knew I wasn't speeding. But I had a very sporty car and he claimed I was 15 over. I asked him to prove it. He said alright, walked back to his car, came back with a white piece of paper and the speed he claimed he clocked me at written on it. I recall thinking this is the most absurd thing. But whatever. I went to the court office for it. The judge, seeing I had tickets before, got furious I had the audacity to challenge a cop and threw the book at me. Largest fine he could hit me with and I had to go in probation. I was a college student at the time working full-time to pay for it. I never thought about challenging it further. It later became a lesson about profiling though because as soon as I sold that car, I never got another ticket since despite never having really changed driving habits. Fight it in court, don't fight with them on the side of the road. I don't know about that. But always answer negative if they ask you if you know why they pulled you over. Self-incrimination. Fifth Amendment. If you are pulled over, obey any instructions that the police give you. Provide your documents. When the officer approaches, have your window down, the lights on if it's dark, and your hands in plain sight on the wheel. Do not answer any questions. Don't just remain silent. Say that you decline to answer questions. You only need to do that once. Then just shut up. You don't know why they pulled you over. Do not engage the officer verbally at all. Nothing you say can help you. If you want to fight the ticket, do it in court.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.